Another one. And another one. And another one.
What is going on at Manchester United and what has happened to my club?
You are now listening to Pree Da Production with your host, Majaro.
What is up, my tribal people? Welcome back to the Pree Da Production YouTube channel. I'm your host, Majaro, aka Midge. And where do I begin? Just give me a break. It feels like this whole channel has turned into a Manchester United channel. This was not the plan. My plan was just to cover games every week. 1 game a week. If we had 2 games a week, do a reaction, and that was about it. But Manchester United have been making headline news for a whole month. Whether it's Mason Greenwood, and now we've got the latest stories. So, if you haven't heard, Manchester United Brazilian winger Antony has publicly been announced as under investigation due to DV allegations by his ex-girlfriend. What are the allegations? The leaked report relate to an incident that allegedly took place on the 15th of January of this year at a hotel in Manchester. According to the alleged victim, Antony headbutted her, causing a cut on her scalp. He also grabbed her and forced her on the bed before landing on her, causing the displacement of a silicone implant in her breast. According to leaked deposition, Antony then called the club official who arranged for the alleged victim to be seen by a doctor. The deposition claims the doctor worked for United and was brought in with the deliberate intention of hushing up what had happened. United said on Thursday that any suggestion that the club covered up these allegations is categorically false. United confirmed that a member of staff arranged for a private doctor to visit the alleged victim at Antony's request, but denied that she was treated by any of the club's medical staff. It is understood player welfare officials commonly arrange for private doctors to visit family members of playing staff if required. Antony has yet to be charged with any offence since the allegations against him first came to light in June of this year. He has dismissed the claims as false allegations. I wrote on Instagram, "From the beginning, I have treated the matter with seriousness and respect, providing the necessary clarifications before the police authority. However, I can calmly state that the accusations are false and that the evidence already produced and the other evidence that will be produced demonstrate that I am innocent of the accusations made. My relationship with the alleged victim was tumultuous with verbal insults from both sides, but I never committed any physical aggression." More allegations, and I'm not saying this is 100% fact that he 100% did it, but with the recent Greenwood situation, it doesn't look good now, does it? It feels like the whole right-hand side of our team is just cursed to losing players due to absolute disgusting things that have been done in their private lives, allegedly. And to think, if Manchester United were involved in, covering up some intimidation, they would be complicit in his actions, allegedly. So I hope Manchester United did not send any private doctors to hush up the situation, because that is absolutely disgusting. And it feels like this isn't an isolated event. It feels like the same situation with Mason Greenwood. There had been rumours that Manchester United were aware of the complex and toxic relationship and aware of his problematic behaviour in training and amongst the playing staff, but didn't decide to, step in and say, what, Mason, what's going on? We've been noticing certain behaviours. Are you okay? Do you need some support? Instead of stepping in and saying, what have you been showing recently and what we've been hearing around the town or around your behaviour isn't acceptable for a Manchester United player. We hold ourselves to high standards, and all this behaviour we've been hearing about, it can't continue or else there'll be consequences. This is all under the management of Manchester United. And who's at the top of that management? The Glazer family, of course. This is all under their tutelage. This is all under their watchful eye. Actually, blind eyes, because these guys do not care about the football club at all. When situations like this happened with Manchester City, they were quick to disavow, disengage. We do not want anything to do with this situation. We'll pay you, but we are not going to involve ourselves with you at all. We're not going to send you on loan. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. It's up to you. And if you're innocent, we can review it. Whereas with Manchester United, it's like, let's try and find a loop way, let's long it out for as long as possible. Let's worm our way in, let's leak some information and see if, people will be accepting. Oh, we got too much pushback. We can't have you back. Let's send you out on loan and, hopefully you can rehabilitate your image. And I want that for him too. I want him to have a second chance. But at the same time, if this is your plan to inevitably bring her back to the first team and think people are going to forget, people are not going to forget when there's another one. When there's another one, there's another allegation against another player. People must be thinking we're a bunch of absolute wrongins. And speaking of wrongins, don't even get me started on the latest stuff that's come out regarding a former Manchester ladies coach. It has been brought to my attention that Manchester United last year invited a convicted Geppetto who used to work for Manchester United ladies team, a convicted Geppetto, served 4 years in prison, and they welcomed him as a guest of honour at Manchester United's ground at a women's game. Are you mad? Are you mad? Right. If you haven't heard, I'ma tell you. So who is Gio off? Konopaka? Whatever this guy's name is, it doesn't matter. He was the manager for Manchester United ladies from 1983 to 2001. The team played in informal fixtures at Wembley in 1994 and again in 1996 and were one of the first women's squads to do so. Manchester United recently welcomed him to Old Trafford as a special guest, despite him having an active suspension from working or coaching for any team. That's mad. You're inviting him as a guest of honour when he's not even allowed to be on the training pitch. That's wild. In March last year, he attended the Women's Super League game to watch the team play against Everton at home. The match smashed the tenant records, with 20,000 fans turning up for their teams. He was sentenced to 4 years in prison in 2011 after being found guilty of 19 offences of indecent assault and gross indecency against girls under the age of 16 and 14, fam. Proper wronging. Proper wallet. These are the guys that Manchester United are associated with. Don't even get me started on some of the ex-legends. It might not be as bad as this, but we've got a history of having some wrongers in our team. And I know every team has some wronging somewhere, but with Manchester United lately, it feels like we've got some rotten apples, and this all stems from the top. Because if our team or our club was serious about everything and wanted to be the best in class when it comes to everything, they wouldn't be making stupid mistakes like this by inviting someone who used to be part of their staff but didn't realise that my man's an absolute predator. He had even been placed under the sex offenders list for more than a decade. In one email to the club, a complainant said, "The women's game is ever evolving and there are lots of vulnerable girls wanting to pursue their dreams who will be reading and looking at your website and possibly looking at him as a role model. I'm sickened and disgusted to see the vile man online." The club said in a statement, Manchester United has recently received information around these convictions and as a matter of urgency has been in contact with the relevant legal and football authorities to substantiate the facts. Bruv, it takes one Google search. It takes one phone call. You don't have to state that. You just have to state, we have looked into it. It was a blunder, or apologise. Right? I didn't even see an apology in that statement. The club has taken appropriate actions after receiving this information and will have no further connection with the individual. This is Manchester United. This is Manchester United we're talking about. That is such a meme. That phrase, this is Manchester United we're talking about. Before, it used to be, this is Manchester United we're talking about. We're supposed to be up here. Now it's, yo, this is Manchester United we're talking about. Of course they're doing this. Of course they're last in class. Of course they got alleged wrongers. Of course they're making stupid mistakes. Of course they handled the situation badly. Of course their transfer window is terrible. Of course their playing staff aren't functioning well. It's just another day as a Manchester United fan. And it doesn't have to be like this. The Glazers, you've done enough. You just need to sell the club to someone that can take it in a different direction, because this is your history. £1 billion in debt. FFP violations and sanctions. Can't have a steady budget for players. Don't have a steady strategy for players. Sacking managers every 3 years. And now you got a bad bunch of people, allegedly, running the club, playing for the club. And regarding the Antony situation, is he going to get suspended? Because the statement that they released was basically, I know we have to release a statement, so here's a statement about the statement we're going to release in the future. This is what Manchester United do. This is the key factor. This is the key feature of this Glazer ownership. Reactive. Sweep things under the rug. Papering over cracks. Distractions. And inevitably, failure. It is what it is. I usually am upbeat with these videos, but recently Manchester United got me down. Got me down bad. But let me know in the comments below, do you think that Antony should be playing for Manchester United at the moment, who is under investigation? Hasn't been formally charged, but they're looking at him. Or do you feel like he should be treated as innocent until guilty, and even if he's charged, he should still be able to play? Even though, you know, Mason Greenwood, that didn't happen with him. It's not the same situation, but very similar. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
I be kidding on my foes, even though I got it all on my own. Success sweet, yeah, it tastes like honeycomb. Dropping blood tears and even breaking bones. I'm sipping on Patron while aiming for the throne. I've been to hell and back and even go